Hi guys, here I'm going to show you how to ignore zeros using functions like the min function in Excel. And the methods I show you here will work for other functions as well. I'll show you a normal formula and an array formula, which scares some people, but I find a little bit easier. Before we start, check the video description and click the link to TeachExcel so you can download the files for the tutorial and follow along. And make sure to subscribe and accept notifications so you can see all the new tutorials. Now, if you don't want to watch the tutorial, you just want to get these formulas, no worries. Go ahead and download the workbook, get them. It's pretty self-explanatory. You've got one here, and you've got an array formula here. I'll show you first how the functions work, and then I will explain them bit by bit, just in case you want to know how they work so you can apply them to other formulas or functions. So here we just have a sample list, easy peasy, and we've got a zero, and it causes a lot of problems when you want to do something like, let's just do it right here, just the min function, okay? But I don't want to know zero. So that's not very helpful to me. This is especially helpful when you're working with financial spreadsheets and you may have zero values throughout the spreadsheet, but you don't want to return that. You want to return the lowest sales number, not just some cell that's left at zero because it has no data in it yet. So the normal formula, I'm going to cover that first, although I don't find it as easy to remember. It's not an array formula, so you just enter it in the cell regularly. We use the small function with the COUNTIF function. Now all we have to do is, it's just this formula. So if you want to get it and use it in your workbook, just change A2 to A7 to the range of numbers that you're going to be using. That's it. But now let's talk about how it works. So first I'll show you what the small function is by itself. It's going to return the smallest number. So small returns the kth smallest value in a data set. For example, the fifth smallest number. So first value is array, or first argument array. So we select the numbers. And then you say, if you want to get the smallest one, or the next smallest one, or which one you want to get. So if you want to get smallest, you could just put 1. It'll get the first smallest, and that is 0. So if I put in here instead of a 1, a 2, it would return the second smallest, which is 1. So what we do here is we use the COUNTIF function in place of this argument. So we can say I want to get the third smallest, the fourth smallest, the fifth smallest. So how do we do that? You can see here we just use the COUNTIF function for the second argument. Well, what we do is we use this right here to count how many zeros are in the data set. So if I copy that, go over here, equals COUNTIF, we are going to count this range, and the criteria is if it equals 0. Now for the count functions, COUNTIF, COUNTIFs, average, average-ifs functions, you can do actually a lot of cool stuff with the criteria arguments. I'm not going to cover that here. If you wanted to check for 0, count how many cells equal 0, you just put 0 in there. So once we do that, it's going to return 1. If I had another 0, it would return 2. So it counts how many zeros there are. Now once you get that number, here, it's 1. So we use that number right here to figure out which smallest value we would like to return. The first smallest value. So it's going to count how many zeros. There's 1 0. And then we simply add 1 to that count to return the next smallest value. So it's kind of an interesting trick. So if we had 2 zeros, COUNTIF would return 2 plus 1. It would say get the third smallest value. So we are simply combining the COUNTIF function with the small function and a plus 1 in order to get the lowest value that is basically above 0, or at least not equal to 0. Now the good thing about this function, or this formula, is that you don't have to, it's not an array formula. So I can just hit enter and it'll work. No problem. However, I guess I would say bad thing is that most of us do not use small. That's not, it's not used as often as the min function or really about a billion other functions. So oftentimes, this method is easier to forget. In fact, I forget it myself. So I don't use this very often. Actually, I don't use this method at all when I want to get the lowest number excluding zeros. It's easy, but it's also easy to forget. So what I use is the next method, which is the array formula. And there's actually more methods, but these are the two easiest methods. So for the array formula, the first thing I want to say is an array formula is basically something that does extra calculations within the formula itself. Arrays are very confusing in Microsoft Excel compared to programming, where it's a lot more logical and easier to visualize actually. But here, what you have to know about array formulas is once we build the formula, we cannot simply hit enter. So if I let me hit escape right now, you can see it returns 1. But if I double click and I hit enter, it's 0. So array formulas are very easy to destroy. And it can be very difficult, no, not can be, it is very difficult to analyze a large spreadsheet, figure out what formulas should have been array and figure out what formulas should have been array formulas. So here, to fix it, I double click and I hit Control Shift Enter. And that is how you input an array formula. Not enter, not tab, double click, tab, oops, broken. Control Shift Enter. And you know that a formula is an array formula if, let us zoom into the formula bar, you can see the little squiggly brackets around the formula. Now, you cannot type these in by hand. They only appear when you hit Control Shift, or when you use Control Shift Enter to input the formula. If I do this, double click, hit regular enter, you shall see now the squiggly brackets are gone. I will go inside the formula, hit Control Shift Enter, squiggly brackets are back. So it's very easy to mess this up. If you don't know that it's an array formula, or God forbid you give it to a coworker who doesn't know what it is, double clicks it to look at the formula, okay, then hits enter and breaks your entire spreadsheet. So that's why it's dangerous. But if you know what you're doing, this formula is so awesome and easy and lovely. You want to get the minimum number, but you only want to include numbers that are not 0. So this is what makes it an array formula. We've got this if function within the min function. And for the if function, what we are doing is we are saying if the values in A2 to A7 do not equal 0, then return that value. Then that value, those values from the if function are returned back to the min function, and the min function then returns the minimum number. Let us go ahead and just do, oops, okay, Control Shift Enter. So it's easy to forget. If I hit equals min like this, just 0. Now if I take this and put it over here, if I hit regular enter, we get 4. Doesn't really make too much sense for what we want. Also, doesn't really make too much sense for what we want if we enter it as an array formula there. So you can see that breaking it out like we do normally with formulas like I did up here doesn't really help you so much when you try to explain it. But there is one really nice way. I'm going to go ahead and delete these to reduce confusion when you download the workbook. There's one nice way to go through an array formula. So we go to the Formulas tab, then with that cell selected, the array formula cell, then go to Evaluate Formula. It's a great little feature. Okay, so here you can see right here is our formula, and it has a section highlighted, and when we click the Evaluate button, it will return the result of that piece of code, of that part of the formula. So I click Evaluate now. A2 to A7 does not equal 0. And we can see what the if function sees. It sees false, true, 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 true. Okay, we click it again. And now we can see that for the min function, we get false and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's what it uses to calculate the minimum value. So false, obviously not a number, so it's going to return the lowest number, which is a 1. Hit evaluate again, and we get the result 1. Now if we close this, let's say that we want to change the 0 to a 1. Sorry about that, Control Shift Enter. Okay, so 0 is lowest now because we do not want to include 1. Let's go to evaluate formula again. I want to show you how it works out. A2 to A7 does not equal 1. This time we get true, false. False is in place for number 1 right here. Let's hit evaluate again. This time we get 0, false, where 1 would be, then 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit evaluate again, and we get 0. So that's how it works. And maybe I did not cover this clearly enough, could be confusing if you're not used to it. This right here does not equal. That is a less than and a greater than sign back to back. So it's two separate things. Less than, greater than. That's how you input does not equal into a formula in Excel. And using this method down here particularly, where we're using an array formula and an if statement right in here, you can apply this to many different formulas and many different functions in Excel when you want to exclude values. Now, obviously, I'm not going to cover those here. It's a bit beyond this, but you could kind of think of this as a little intro to that functionality of array formulas. But for now, this is two ways that you can ignore zeros when you use the min function in Excel. We've got the array formula here. Make sure that when you input it, you hit Control Shift Enter. This is my favorite formula because I find it a bit more logical. The min function, we use it often. The if function, we use it often. And it just seems a bit more logical to me. Get the minimum value if it does not equal 0. Easy peasy. Now we have the normal formula up here, which seems less logical to me. Small value, count if, plus 1. Just seems like there's more to remember. But it's not an array formula, so it's going to be more difficult for your coworkers to muck up your spreadsheet later on. So choose whichever one you want, and that's about it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked the tutorial. If it was helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe and accept notifications so you can see all the new tutorials.